Good afternoon once again to all the participants. It is my pleasure to introduce our distinguished speaker for this session, Dr. Chintaman S. Bari, Scientist, Traffic Engineering and Safety Division, CSIR CRRI, New Delhi. Dr. Bari is a prolific researcher with significant contribution in the areas of traffic engineering, transportation systems, and infrastructure research. He has published extensively in SCI and Scopus Index journals, actively participates in international conferences, and possesses rich experience in managing the complete publication process. From manuscript preparation to effectively responding to reviewers' comments, his strong research profile combined with practical exposure to scholarly publishing makes him an ideal guide for understanding the realities of academic publication. His research work has received a total of 366 citations reflecting the impact and relevance of his contributions. In this session, Dr. Bari will be speaking on publication workflow and enhancing impact. This talk will provide participants with practical insights into structuring manuscripts, understanding editorial decisions, handling reviewer comments professionally, and effectively using authors' identifiers such as ORCID and researcher profiles. We are confident that this session will demystify the publication process and empower researchers to approach submission with confidence and clarity. I now request Dr. Bari to kindly begin his session.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Kumar. I hope I'm audible perfectly.
Yes, sir. You're audible.
Okay, so I will not share my video because a little bit of internet issue is there. So at the end, I will start the video. Till then, I will share my screen.
Okay.
I hope my screen is visible. Hello.
Yes, sir. Just put it on. Yes, sir. It's now visible.
Okay. So thank you so much, organizers of the FDP, for giving me a topic of publication workflow and enhancing impact. So I'm working as a scientist in CSIR CRRI, and from the last what we can say from 2018 onwards, I am with the research and reviewing, publishing papers. So I hope I can justify the topic given by Dr. Kuran. So in today's presentation, I will be dealing with the following topics, starting from the publication workflow. So from manuscript preparation to final acceptance, then journal guidelines, then third one is editor and reviewer expectations. The fourth one is response strategies. The fifth one is enhancing impact via SEO. Sixth one is author identifiers. And the last one is international visibility. So one by one I will start. So I hope before going to the in-depth, so what do you mean by research? Can anyone tell me?
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, some voice is coming from background, sir. That's why your voice is not clear.
Okay, just a minute. I have closed the door. Let's see. If it is again a problem, please let me know. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So, what do you mean by research? Anyone? I hope all the faculty members are there, and mostly researchers are there. So, what we can define as a research, for me, the research is that starting, we are starting from say something by reading books, literature, and again the last will be again the typing the thing, and again uh, it is a cyclic process. So it's starting from a paper to the paper. That's what we can say in a common language we can say. So as a researcher we will start from a literature review, that is we start from a paper, and finally we want to have an a output in terms of paper or a patent. So that will give us a final recognition as our research is done. So this is what about the thesis. So the basic conclusion is writing is the hardest thing ever, and everyone feels like the same. So for the publication workflow, so what is a general publication workflow when we are dealing with? So the first one is manuscript preparation. So in that after completion of your findings and research, you will have a research writing formatting according to the journal guidelines. Then you will select a journal. So you will select a journal depending upon the impact audience. Then the third one is submission. You will submit with the help of suppose if you are having an editorial manager or some a different submission such as Taylor and Francis. So submission in that submission the different guidelines are there, whether figures, how many figures are required, how many tables are required, what cover letter is required, highlight is required. In that way submission you will do. Then after submission it will go for initial editorial review. So they will check whether you are, the manuscript is in scope, the quality and the completeness of the manuscript. Then it will go for a peer review. So peer review means the expert evaluate methodology, findings and significance, and if it is good then it will go for a revision, otherwise it will be rejected. So decision in terms of accept, major minor revision or rejection can be given. So, fortunately if it is a revision, so you will do a revision of the manuscript, and again it will go for a peer review for the same reviewers or the different reviewer. And finally if everything goes right, then the paper will be accepted, and the ninth step will be the production, and the last will be the publication. So in publication it will be online, you will get a DOI, and it will get an indexing. So this is a general publication workflow. सूरज जी वो लगा दीजिए. So, and from one of the research article, I have taken this. So you can see that so you can see that author submit manuscript, it will go to managing editor. So it will check the validity of submission. Mostly they will do if the formatting is correct or not, whether the whatever number of figures are cited, tables are cited are correct or not. If the journal requirement is only 5 figures, if you have kept more than 5 figures, they will send back to you. If everything goes right, it will go to editor in chief. So editor in chief will just through take a glance in terms of scope, any errors, appropriate methods, justification and conclusion. Mostly editor in chief will look on the your abstract, your introduction and the your what we can say conclusion. Then it will go to associate editor. Associate editor will check the quality. If it if he feels that there is some novelty or something has been deeply done, then it will go for review. Otherwise, it will be rejected and sent back to editor in chief. So AE, that is associate editor, will make a preliminary decision and inform EIC, that is editor in chief, and editor in chief make the final decision. And if everything goes correct, then it will go for the publisher and the publication is completed. So this is a general publication workflow. And so in that, the first basic and important thing is manuscript preparation. So manuscript preparation, what I feel the basic best practices are the following the journal guideline. So it is the most important thing that you should follow. So most of the time the new researcher feel that okay, if I don't either with the formatting guideline, um, at least my paper will go under review, but it is not like that. So suppose in case our transportation, we are having transportation research board, which is a conference. So it is having a word limit of 7,500 words. So if the word limit is more than that, so your paper will be rejected. That is, it will not go to under review. Then reference style. So most of the journals are having APA or their own reference style. If you are not following the reference style, then the paper will be rejected. So the follow the journal guideline, that is the first most important thing. The second thing is structure with IMRAD. So IMRAD means introduction, methods, results and discussion. So your paper should have a flow in the way it should start with introduction, little bit the gap will be filled by literature review, then methods, results and discussion, and lastly the conclusion. So the proper flow of the paper will give a good justification. Clear and concise language, so avoid jargon. Use active voice, define abbreviation where at the first instances. Include all sections. So all sections means it should have abstract, keyword, conflict of interest, funding statement, now ethical consideration, and all other things are also required. High quality visual. So mostly in paper, in a manuscript, the visuals in terms of tables and figures, they should be clearly visible. Suppose most of the time now young researchers are preparing the graphs in color, giving different colors to different light. But suppose in case if that has been taken in a black and white print, so it should have a distinguishable features in the line type also. So that has to be kept in the mind. And the software such as Origin Pro and others which can give a high quality graphs has to be used while preparing the manuscript. The last one is proper citation format. So proper citation format means the complete information, all the author details, journal details, volume number, page number, and the DOI should be given. And if possible, use the reference manager such as we are having the Mendeley desktop manager and the other ones which is inbuilt in the Word you can use for the. So I can concise all the things in the this manner for the best manuscript preparation. So next one is, I hope I'm audible, Kuram.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, okay.
Yes,
So
sir. Yes, sir.
structure,
You are audible.
yes. So structure with IMRD. So IMRD. So title means what is about. So abstract, what is it in a nutshell? Introduction. Why did you do it? Study site, if required. Methods. How did you do it? Results. What did you find? And discussion. What does it mean? And in discussion, mostly please try to compare with the previous literature, how your findings are in line with the literature, how your findings are contradictory with the literature. That is the most important thing which we are dealing in the discussion. And what are the limitations of your research, and the future scope has to be mentioned in terms of conclusion, and then acknowledgement and references. So this is a IMRD structure which has to be followed for a basic manuscript preparation. So you can refer this following literature. I have given a screenshot. So writing a scientific article is step-by-step guide for beginner, which is by Eric Knott et al. In 2015. It is one of the best article I found, which has given in detail how to write a scientific article for the beginners. And these are the two research papers which have been given for a literature review paper. So the first one is for a scientific article in which you are doing some study, you get some results, and you want to write a paper. But in case of literature review, you are not doing anything new. You are just doing an summary of literature and you want to present. So in that this paper in transport review will guide how to write a literature review paper. And the one more, this is a method that Prisma 2020 for how to do the literature review, so systematic reviews. So this literature can be referred for your paper writing. So now the first impression is the last impression. Everyone knows. And why I am telling it. Suppose this is suppose if we take any shadi.com or something. So suppose the profile is open by seeing just we can say, okay, this paper is for me, or this is truly related to me. So what we can say, the first impression is last impression is only your abstract. So your abstract should be in the way that it should give a total glimpse of your research article. So how the abstract should be? So abstract should have this following point. So background, it should have methods, it should have result, conclusion. Mostly the abstract should not have any references, any discussion or the figures. So might be some of the researcher in the area want to take further any methodology such as in mathematics or physics. So in that way there can be possibility of reference, but in the other term there can't be any references or the discussion in the abstract. Now one can say the figures, yes, figures are not in the abstract, but now the a new term. So what we can say, the figure pictorial abstract, or in terms of figure abstract. So that is the totally different thing from the basic abstract. So in the our basic abstract, when we are writing a paper, it should have a background, method and result and conclusion. So I will try to give some example from my own paper. So this is our paper. You can see this is a title which gives a concise about what it is there in the paper. So this the first four lines is giving a brief introduction and highlighting objective. So see, the traffic condition in India consists of high degree of heterogeneity in vehicle category. So this is giving a brief introduction, and you can see the objective is also highlighted over here. In the present study, service advice taken as measure of effectiveness for studying the effect of mixed traffic condition. So in this way, you will have a brief introduction. The second one, what type of methodology and study group you have adopted. And the third one, observations and result. So you can see the results show that the service advice for his vehicle varies. So in that way, your observations or result can be given in the results show that the study found that in that way. And the last one, it will give the application, so where it will be used. So field engineers can use the develop STA to estimate the traffic flow in equivalent terms based on the traffic composition. So these are the four what we can see for the basic the research article. And see here, the keywords are most important thing. So keywords will give the more visibility of a research article. So in terms of literature paper, so in literature paper we are not having what we can say the methodology, study group, observation, results. There is something different called as, and so it should have a background, hypothesis, what are the design method, results in terms of literature review, means the conciseness, metadata analysis of the literature review, and the conclusion. So you can see that second paper of mine, which is on the review paper. So a toll rate policies of India, a review, comparison and inferences. So it is an a review article in which the first you can see the brief introduction and highlighting objectives are given. And then you can see the methodology and study group. So methodology, critical literature of toll rate policy in India, other developed countries. Then the next one is observation and reasons of what observation we got, and the lastly what can be the application. So in that way, you can see there is a difference in between the little bit of structuring of the abstract of the literature review and the research article. So important points while writing introduction, you can keep that brief statement highlighting the need. Hello, need of the work should be there. Then comprehensive review of the past researcher might be in a little bit of 2 to 3 line. Then research gap and statement of objective should be there, organization of paper, and lastly proper tense should be followed while writing the introduction. So you can see that the background, what we can say, what I told, what is not known, objective, exact parameter you should cite the type of patient population or clinical context or any population which you are taken into consideration, and the tense, suppose so to describe the current state of knowledge, so you should have a present tense. So suppose cancer is a common disease, or a road accident is a vital problem in India, so it should be a present tense. So to describe observation previously published by others, so it should be past imperfect. So suppose Smith et al. Show that drug A reduced the rate of death, whereas drug B did not. So in that way, it should be a past tense. So it should be taken into consideration. To describe a process that began at some unspecified time, so it should be present perfect. To describe something that has not happened yet, so it has not been determined whether, so it should be present perfect again. To formulate your hypothesis, so the hypothesis should be formulated in terms of past tense and the present tense for second verb. So we hypothesize that drug A increase the risk of bleeding. And to formulate your objective, so objective should be in the past tense. So we aim to measure. So in that way, your introduction should be given and the proper tense should be mentioned. Now the next is journal selection, because your formatting and all the things will depend on the which type of journal you are taking. So journal selection strategy, so align your research scope. So read the recent publication, review journal mission statement, impact and audience. So which audience you are targeting. So suppose if you are working on the driver behavior, so driver behavior means it can be to the basic transportation engineer. If you are moving towards as a, it can be towards the ergonomic side, it can be towards the cognitive science. So in that way, your audience should be finalized. The important thing, time and acceptance rate. So how much time it is taking, and how much what is the acceptance rate. So mostly the time and acceptance rates are given on the website. But if it is not given on the website, you can search the recent article and how much average time it is taken for the publishing. You can decide. Then open access option, whether EPC is required or not, or a hybrid option is there, or what we can say subscription option is there, you can go with that. And lastly, reputation and indexing. So reputation means whether the journal is Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So Q1 means high quartile journals and the indexing, whether it is SCI index, SSSCI, or SCIE, or ESCI, or Scopus. So you have to finalize what in which journal you want to target. So to help you, there are different journal finders. So I have given one example of Springer Nature. So you have to just give your abstract, your keyword up to 5,000 character, and you just do the find journal. So relevant journals it will give. The second I have given for the Taylor and Francis. The same thing is for elsewhere also. Billy also, you will get the journal suggested journal finder. They will reveal the suggested journal. And or the next option is to find the journal is to check the cited reference. So when you prepare your article, you just check from which uh, journal you get the maximum article. So in that way you can get the a possible journal for your publication. Then comparing the metrics, so you can see that these are the two transportation journal in which the first one is you can have a impact factor, site score, same as, impact factors. So now, so impact factor is 3.3, side score, the impact factor is 2.6. So possibly you can go for this. um then the submission to first decision is 20 days, submission to first decision is 12 days, acceptance rate is 15%, acceptance rate is 9%. So you have to decide on the factors of your own. So suppose if you want to have an early decision, you can go with this journal. If you want high impact factor journal, you can go with this journal. If you want a high acceptance rate, you can go with this journal. So in that way you have to compare the matrices for the different journal. And then this was from the what we can say, Taylor and Francis. So this is the same, you will get from the elsewhere. So you can see the impact factor, side score, submission to first decision, submission to acceptance. Okay, so so in that way the details are given, and also see it is a totally open access journal. So open access fee is given. In that way you can compare the different journals depending on the platform. This is from the science Springer nature. You can see that the publisher model is hybrid for this, hybrid for this, hybrid for this. Impact factor is given, and the possibly what we can say, the topics. So it is related to civil engineering. It is civil engineering, human geography. It also contains civil engineering, automotive engineering. In that way, you can compare the different journals in the different tools, and you can go with the selection of journal. Now the two important terms in this is coming as now here. JIF is journal impact factor and the site score. So site score is nothing but an taking last 4 years of citation received to the 4 years. But the thing is that it includes all article, review, conference paper, data, papers and book chapters. While the impact factor is just, suppose if you're calculating for 2019, it will take the two preceding 2 years citable documents. So citable documents means articles and reviews only, and the total number of documents and total number of citation in 2017 and 18. So in that way you will get an impact factor. So so impact factor is given by Web of Science, and set score is given by Scopus. So in most of the journal you can see here it's an impact factor. So they are not they might not be in Scopus. I'm not saying they are not is, they might not be in Scopus, but here you can see that impact factor and site score means they are having both database. So Web of Science database also and Scopus database also. So in Scopus database it is having 7 and 3.4. So more the value, the more impactful the journal is, and the more or it is in the highest quartile. Now might be you have heard about the different what we can say indexes. So SCI, SCIE, ESCI, and Scopus. So ESCI and SCI is truly different. So these three are by the Clarity or Web of Science, and this is by the Scopus or the which is maintained by Elsewhere. So see here, ESCI from 2023 it got an GCR, that is, or impact factor. Before that it was not having. So the most important thing, SCI and SCI expanded, they are mostly near. Also there is one SSSCI, that is Social Science Citation Index. So it is also which consists of the social science paper. So in that way you can see that SCI is recognition is highest, SCI is very high, ESCI is moderate, and Scopus is also high because Scopus index is also. But in most of the Indian when you are applying for any funding or any funding, or when you are applying for um, ANRF grant, DST grant, so they are mostly towards the SCI publication. They will not count the Scopus publication. In India, we are not concerned about the quartiles. We are mostly concerned about the SCI or the Scopus. Now the journal guidelines. So journal guidelines. So understanding journal scope. So you should read aims and scope. So most of the time your day's rejection is because it is not aligning with the scope of the journal. You should check for the specialization. So there are different types of where you can search for the call for papers and guest editor expertise for the special. Review recent publication for the journal scope. So which type of papers are coming in the proper journal and the target audience. So some of the journals, suppose AC. So AC most towards the what we can say practitioner focus journals. So in that way, some suppose if you take a cognitive psychology, see it is totally a cognitive related journal. So in that way, some journals are theoretical, some are towards the practitioner side. So you just first check in the aims and scope and decide your target audience. The next thing is formatting and style guidelines. So this is well known, and we have seen that manuscript structure, reference style, figure and table, word count, file format, and cover letters. Cover letters are nowadays little bit of important. Why your paper has to be considered for the review. So before writing, what we can say, you will give something. Sorry, your margin are 0.0 wider than university specification. Come back tomorrow. So in that way, it should not happen. So you should have a proper formatting, and for that, what you can do, you can go for the guide for others. So I am taking an one of the example from the transport policy. So you can check a guide for author always before submitting. So you can see that there is something called as your paper your way. So your paper your way means you can submit in any format if the paper is, but this is not the true for all the journals. This is for some of the journals that you don't need to reformat the things. Okay, so this is a based what we can see that your paper your way submission. And still your paper your way submission is only for the first. After you get a revision, you have to submit in a proper that journal format. So you can see that there is a subdivision numbered section, introduction material, so it should have a numbered one. So this is as per the elsewhere. You can see the article structure and the preparation. You are having the new submission, how highlight abstract keyword tables should be there, you can check it. Now I have taken an example of AC also. So you can see the in AC, so there is double space single column format with continuous slide numbering. All figures and table are included. Okay, initial submission maybe word latex. So according to the different journal, you will get the different formatting. So that is the most important thing. So always visit the guide for authors while taken into consideration. Now the most important thing nowadays, if you are dealing with any plant species, animal research, or a human research, whether you are doing a questionnaire survey, also you have to take an ethical consideration into mind. So ethical consideration, that one, and the one is plagiarism prevention. So you should have a proper citation in your plagiarism by the authenticate or the determinant. It should not go more than 15%. Authorship criteria is uh, author has make a substantial contribution, then you can give a authorship, otherwise there is no need. So in most of the journals are asking in which case the author has given his input in terms of supervision, in terms of what we can say data collection or something in that way. So conflict of interest, there should not be any financial or personal conflict of interest. There should not be any suppose I had done the research and I have taken the funding from that, and in that way, it should not have any conflict. So data integrity, duplicate publication should not be there, and the ethical approval from IRB committee or informed consent from the participant should be taken into it. So this is what about the what we can say the manuscript preparation. Now editor and reviewer expectation. So this is the most important thing, because see, as an researcher, we will submit a paper, we will feel that this is the best of what I can do, but this is not the true. the editors and the reviewer expectation are now nowadays it is too high, and if your paper goes to a proper reviewer, you will get a good comment. uh, Otherwise, if it goes to a just a novice or a new reviewer, or the reviewer who don't know anything, he might use any chat gpt or something, and he will give the comment. So it is also an important that your review should go or come from a possible a good expert from the topic. So what editor look for? The editor first look for the journal alignment. So whether topic is relevant or within the scope, and audience appropriateness of the topic, editor will look. The novelty and significance. So novelty and significance, he will not read whole paper. He will just check the your abstract, your introduction section, and the conclusion section. If he feels that something novelty is there, then uh, uh, he will further assign the reviewer. Otherwise, it will go for an rejection. Methodological rigor. So robust methodology or valid data analysis should be there. Clarity of presentation. So logical flow, clear language. So this is no typo should be there. It is most important thing. So when you are preparing any figures or something, if any typos are there, then can be most what we can say, yeah, if typos are there, then your paper will be rejected. Then the formatting adherence. So this is the most important thing. See, most of the journal are double anonymous reviews. So in double anonymous review, in some case, if you forget to delete your name or something which help, yeah, the reviewer to know your identity, then your paper will be rejected. Suppose it is in revision state also, and it is in first review also, it will be rejected. So formatting adherence should be there, and potential impact. So whether the study will have a potential application or practical application, it should be it will be checked from by the editor. Now the reviewer evaluation. So reviewer evaluation criteria is, so the first one, as a reviewer, you have to check whether the novelty is there or not. So novelty is there or not. Uh, Second one, methodological rigor, the same thing which it may be duplicate, is the same thing. The only difference is that editor will have a little bit of time to check a paper, but in peer review or reviewer criteria, in a reviewer will check in depth everything. Then data quality, whether suppose as a researcher you have taken only 30 sample, and for the case whether 30 is sufficient or not, in that way the reviewer, according to his knowledge, he will define. Then clarity of the logical structure, language, and the they will check whether there is any promotional material or not. Everything it will be under the peer review. Conclusions and the literature review. So the literature review should be recent, and it should cited the most important. Suppose someone is working in a safety uh, in transportation field. So Dr. Abdul has worked a lot. Suppose someone has worked on the toll plaza. So Professor Ashish Damani have worked a lot. So their paper should be cited. Otherwise, it will be a inconsistent or minimum references. So the reviewer will check for the such thing. So I have just kept a screenshot from how the reviewer evaluation criteria. So it will differ from journal to journal, but let's see. So recommendation. So in recommendation, it will be having a accept, major revision, minor revision, or reject, and you have to give a overall manuscript rating. So see, you can see, are the objectives and the rationale of the study clearly stated. So we have to give whether they are clearly given or not, or if not given, how the authors can improve. And then you can see the application theory, method, study. replicability or the reproducibility is there or not. So in that way, the third point is statistical analysis in terms of sampling mechanism, statistical reportings of p-value, confidence interval are appropriate and well described or not. Then could the manuscript benefit from additional table figure, uh, if applicable, interpretation of results and study conclusions supported by data. So these are the different review form, and the reviewer has to, what we can say, tell, have the authors clearly emphasized the strength of study theory methods argument, have the author clearly stated the limitation, does the manuscript structure flow or writing improvement. So reviewer has to check each and everything. It's not like that just a general comment. So in this way, the reviewer has to give a could the manuscript benefit from language editing, and reviewer comments to author. So if the reviewer is filling a data in this form, so it is fine. If he wants to give any specific additional comment, then he will give to the author, and this reviewer confidential comment to editor. So these are not visible to the author, but they are to the editor. Suppose I want to say that I will give a my major comments here, and I want to tell the editor that I don't feel this paper is ready for publication, so I will write here. So these are the reviewer evaluation criteria. So that has to be taken into mind. The common reasons for rejection can be poor journal fit, lack of novelty, methodological flaws, then inadequate literature, outdated sources, I told, poor writing quality, and ethical concerns. Suppose if there is plagiarism or something, then. So I have shown the my letters only of rejection. So you can see that what the section editor has written. So manuscript report is study that examine, this is fine. So the topic is better fit for journal focusing narrowing on driving behavior. So they want to tell that this is out of scope. One aspect of the manuscript make it unsuitable to send out for review. The manuscript references are also not in APA style. The number of tables and figure exceed the maximum number from author's guideline. So you can see that whatever I had summarized in the previous slides, that have already been suffered from that, and that is the summary from which you can see the one more rejection later. So you can see the paper topic does fall within the scope. However, there is insufficient technical content to meet it a full scientific need. So, if there is no novelty, if on the first glance, if they found, they will not send for the review. So these were the what we can say in short, what the editors and the reviewers want. Now suppose fortunately everything goes right, editor give a decision as a revision. Now you have to revise the thing. So now while revising the thing, you should make a response. So understanding first is the understanding review comment. So my supervisor always told me that when the review you will get a reviewer comments. Don't start on the same day. So start first read the comments for 2 3 days at the different times, then you start addressing the comment, because what the researcher want or what the reviewer want to do, you have to what we can say, you have to first know it. So understanding reviewer comment is the most important thing. So you first categorize the feedback. So in that major and minor, so major and means if there is methodological or analysis corrections has to be done, and minor means just formatting a language error. So identify core concerns. So if there is fundamental issues raised, so uh, if there is fundamental issues raised, you look for the recurring themes. Just a minute. Then you recognize the constructive criticism. So always try to check whatever the reviewer has given the uh, reviewer has given. So it is not always that he want to criticize the thing, but in most of the cases, you take it positively that okay, so your manuscript, your paper will be improved. Then distinguish change type. So whenever you are doing some changes, you make in the track mode, or you uh, separate mandatory from optional changes. Means you check whether which changes are mandatory has to be done and which are optional. Suppose means in one case the reviewer wants that collection of more data has to be done, so you can say that as of now we can't add more data due to financial limitation or something, but so this but suppose he said that analysis is has to be modified, you can do the modification of analysis for the case. And the lastly is seek clarification. Suppose if some of the comments by the editor or reviewer you can't understand, then you can seek clarification from the editor or the with the help of specific example. So crafting effective response letter. So you should structure the response starting from reviewer one to with the comment point by point. Address each comment systematically. There should be professional tone. Thank reviewer. Then take make apology also. Clear explanation should be there. Justify disagreement properly, and the higher highlight improvement. So whatever the improvement you have given, you should highlight in the way. Okay, so I have given one example from my response sheet, so you can see how to make a response sheet. So it should have a title, the manuscript number, and you should start. So the first means opening gratitude. So you should start with authors are thankful to the editors and reviewer for the profound and thorough review. In this way, you can start. So there are many ways to write, but I start with this way. We have revised the paper in light of the useful suggestion and comment. Number-wise answer to the specific comment suggestion are as follows. So first, response to editorial suggestion. So editor will also give some comment and editorial suggestion, and you will give some response. Similarly for reviewers, so reviewers comment and author response. So the most important thing is suppose these are the formatting errors. So see, define the abbreviation. Table one, you can use smaller font in the table. So this for the unprofessional work, write you can write corrected note, and the most important thing, please give the proper where you have changed the thing. Otherwise it will be difficult, and one of my paper got rejected because reviewer don't know where I have changed. Again, one example I have given. So see the response letter. The reviewer has given the comment that these papers are missing, and they have given the very in-depth thing. So the we have checked the paper, we have added the paper, and in that way we have improved the thing. So this paper was very near to my heart because the reviewer has given to depth the comment that on the first reading I don't understand anything, but when I read the paper given by him, one by one I read more than 10-15 papers given by him, then I came to know what he want to tell, and then we have revised the thing. So that is the most important thing when you got the major revision. This is also one of the most means near to my heart response. So I was the reviewer, and I have asked a comment to the thing. So I asked there, is there any changes in result by segregating the pharmacy and hospital trip for MOBSR with a new variable? So I asked whether if there is any change or not. So see how the way he or she has written. We acknowledge the reviewer for the interesting observation regarding variable and thought-provoking queries. As the reviewer has rightly pointed out, the trips due to grocery and pharmacy constituted an essential trip during the COVID emergency. So in this way, you can see that uh, the coefficient of R square was slightly lesser in the update, but the meaningful interpretation based on individual mobility terms in the new model improve its applicability. Means if you don't want to do and how to make the changes, you can give from the thing. So the proper English and proper communicable English should be there. Manuscript revision, create a revision plan. So list all commits, set timeline, prioritize changes. So if methodological changes are there, you have to do track modifications. So use track changes, color coding, ensure consistency, colleague review. So this is the most important thing. So once you have done with your review, you first give it to your colleagues and tell them whether I have done correctly or not. Mostly to the senior, not to the junior. The junior you can give only for the what we can say typos and grammatical error. But for the senior, if they will give an idea whether the anything you have missed or any fresh perspective on the topic, because as an mindset you will think in a one way, but as a colleague he might can think in the other way the reviewer wants. So this is the most important thing which I can say. And the last one is final proofreading. So before submitting, don't be in hurry. Use the many softwares are there, Grammarly, Quillbot, for the grammar and spelling and format compliance. You just check with the proper referencing tool such as Mendy and others. So lastly, the enhancing impact through the search engine optimization. For this, you should have a proper keywords, so relevant and specific keywords to your topic, broad and niche terms, discipline terminology, search trends, strategic placement, and journal limits. So this all six you should keep in a mind while deciding the keyword that can be easily searched by anyone. So title and abstract optimization, we have already seen how the title should be the comprehensive abstract and the structured abstract. The different abstract we have seen, the balance and the journal guidelines uh, for the title and abstract. Now, open access strategy, it is the most important thing, and nowadays, the government of India also started the new program in which the open access funding open access article will be open to all. So on the open access model you can have a gold, green, hybrid and the diamond one. So I will show in the next slide what are the different journal options. So you can select depending on the open access article, institution, repository. So you might also know what we in India we are having one repository where all the PhD thesis and can be given funding mandates. If you are having a funding and in funding it is given that you have to keep an open access, then in that way you have to go for an open access condition. Quality versus accessibility. So you should check whether you have to keep an open access or you have to keep your quality by the subscription model. And maximizing citation. So open access will enhance the broader audience reach because it can be downloaded by the possible users and increase the visibility. So you can see that there are four types of an open access. Gold open access, in which a publishing fee has to be paid. Diamond means no publication fee, but it is an open access. Green means self-archiving. So some preprints model can be um, uploaded, and hybrid means possibility you can go for open access or not an open access. So you can see that some open access strategies are there. So this is from a journal of TSR. So they are taking SEK 5800. But you can see some of the countries are having the full waiver such as India. So if you are an Indian author, you can, though it is an open access, you can publish it freely. So most of the journal are having open access, but they are gold or diamond open access. Diamond open access means not, no author also don't want to pay, and the user also don't want to pay. Gold open access means User don't want to pay, but someone will pay, either the institution or the author. So suppose if you take a JTT, IJTST, these are the transportation related journals. So in these journals, you can have an open access from the means current science, which is multidisciplinary journal. The user can download it freely. Now the last is author identifier. So author identifier such as ORCID. So ORCID is unit digital identifier. It is 16-digit code and it is permanent throughout career. So create, you have to create a profile. You can connect publication either by automatically or manual entry. Other ID systems are also there, such as researcher ID, web of science, or scopus author ID. And in India we are having Vidwan. Cross platform is you can use it for the grant application also and the journal submission system. So when you go for the editorial manager, it can connect with your ORCID ID and then consistent identity. So it avoid confusion because your name and the institutional changes will be changed automatically. So this is my ORCID ID. You can see that this is an ORCID ID. uh, the other IDs have been added. The keywords are added here. The educational details. You can see how much works means publication, peer review. So you can see for the different journal how much peer reviews are done. So in that way, all your record about the scientific community will be on your ORCID ID. Then there is also a Vidwan ID. So Vidwan ID is for Indian researcher. So in that you can have a different things at a one place. ORCID ID, Scopus researcher, Google Scholar ID at a one place, and it will have a different articles, awards, scores at a one place. So this is an ID for the Indian researcher. So other matrices. So we are having the H index, I10 index. So H index means I will show in the next impact monitoring how your citation growth is there. Almetrics is also a social media mention. It is taken into consideration. Profile platform, Google Scholar, Web of Science, grant application, and contextual interpretation. So this is my Google Scholar profile. You can see the citation 366. H index is 11. Means minimum 11 papers are having an 11 citation. I10 index 13. So minimum 13 papers are having the 10 as a minimum citation. So that is the meaning of the H index and I10 index. And the this is from the Google Scholar, this is from the Scopus. So you can see the Scopus citations are little bit lower. So Scopus citation are little bit lower means it is taking consideration only on the citation which are from the in the Scopus database. So that's why it's a different thing. The same thing will be for the web of science. And how we can enhance international visibility. So by the global research network, international conferences, cross-border opportunities such as there are DST data projects or different Indo-US in that way. Spark project, you can have a cross-border opportunity, international funding, diverse perspective and cultural navigation. So with the varied expertise, you can collaborate with the different researcher across the world, and you can have an international collaboration. And you can have a multilingual translation if you want to reach more. Then international media, so press release or media interviews. Social media is the most important. LinkedIn and all are used for the academic network. Visual summaries in terms of physiography, policy engagement, and multi-channel distribution will help us to have a research internationally. So what we can take a key takeaways as you should have follow publication workflow and guidelines. You should meet the editor and reviewer expectation, respond effectively to feedback, enhance visibility to SEO and open access, build strong author identity such as ORCID, and increase international reach and impact. So lastly, I can say that I have been impressed with the urgency of doing. Knowledge is not enough, we must apply. Being willing is not enough, we must do. So thank you. Thank you for giving me opportunity. I'm happy if you are having any questions.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. The Now we can open the session for the questions. If anyone have any question, please you can go ahead and ask. You can also write your questions in the chat box. Yes, are there any questions?
Hello,
Yes.
Dr. Snehal from UAP.
Ma'am, please can you speak a little bit louder?
Hello,
Hello. Yes.
hello, I'm audible.
Yes. Yes.
This is Dr. Snehal from UAP Technological University.
Yes,
So my question is that just like any journal having impact factor,
yes.
I just want to know any faculty, right? Faculty have any impact factor?
Faculty, faculty, how faculty will have impact? So you can have with one score here. No, means no, sorry. Faculty will not have any impact factor as of uh, my knowledge. But
Hmm.
according to the different what we can say API scores are there. You can find your API score depending on, suppose if you are applying for any IITs, NIT, so each paper 4 marks. In that way, if you are a corresponding author, 2 points. If you are having PhD scholar, you will get 8 points. So in that way, you will get an API score. But as of now, there is no online platform which will give the faculty as an impact factor. What I feel, the faculty's impact factor in the way is an nothing but an H index or citations or item index,
Okay,
which are mostly used for the 2% scientist calculation in that way.
okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Are there any other questions? So I think we can conclude this session. Thank you very much, Dr. Bari, for an excellent and highly practical session. The session has covered following points, such as stages of manuscript submission, comparison of metrics, journal guidelines, uh, editor and reviewers' comments, reviewer evaluation criteria, certain reasons for rejection, response strategies, understanding reviewer comment, crafting of response letter, best practices for manuscripts revision, keyword optimization, author identifiers, author metrics, impact tracking, and finally enhancing international visibility. So, thank you so much, Dr. Chintaman Bari. Your explanation of the paper submission process and responding to reviewer has demystified the publication process for our participants. On behalf of TSSM Vivurabai Savan College of Engineering and Research and Department of Civil Engineering, we sincerely thank you for your valuable contribution. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much, sir.
much, Kuram, and all the team. So, if anyone having any doubt later on, also they can connect with me on LinkedIn. So I'm happy to clear that doubts. Thank you so much, and thank you so much, Kuram. See you soon. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Can I log out?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
So, with this, we can conclude the day two of the FDP. We will be sharing the feedback form on the WhatsApp group only because I think many of the participants are facing difficulty from the chat box. So, we will meet tomorrow. We will start the session tomorrow, day three of the FDP. From 10 o'clock, we will be starting the sessions. I request all the participants to please join the session on time.